Hello, all. It is Tuesday. And so this is New Thought Tuesdays. I'm Dean Regan, religious science practitioner, on behalf of myself and Rich Smith here. Radiance. What does radiance mean to you? That's what we're talking about today. That's what we're exploring. And that's what I'm asking you to be open to today. We're going to talk about that spiritual idea of radiance, what it is, and how to recognize it, and how to, and I put this in quotes, use it. That's where we are. New Thought Tuesdays. Okay, so here's our premise. People ask me what radiance is, and that answer, as I suggested just now, was really to come out of you. I can talk about what it means to me. Radiance is the light and lightness of God expressing through me this sense of light, both in illumination, sense of color, and also a sense of lightness. Lightness in my thoughts, lightness in my physical experience, and it feels to me like a hand touching a hand lovingly in line with my faith. There's a, I had the opportunity to share earlier this week in an event, a quote by Howard Thurman, and I'll just do the last paragraph. Howard Thurman says, "In the quietness of this place, which I'm going to call radiance today, surrounded by, and I'll add, infused with, that all-pervading presence of God, my heart whispers, keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve, that in fair weather or in fall, in good times or in tempests, in the days when darkness and the foe are nameless or familiar, I may not forget that which my life is committed. Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve." So this week, I've been talking about this all week. This week, just before I woke up on Friday morning, and I'm not a dream person. I'm not into the psychology of dreams per se. I'm not particularly well schooled in that area, but I had a dream, and what perceived to me was just before I woke up. And it wasn't so much a dream as it was a visualization of an awareness. And there I was in my full-orbed sense of Deanness. And the feeling tone was that I was in full cooperation and co-creation with the universe. The universe was like another character. And this wasn't so much like a cartoon character, but like another individualization in the dream. And there was this sense of, as I said earlier, that the hands holding, and there was such a sense of love and warmth and friendliness. There was a sense of ease. Boy, big time ease and big time flow. And there are many other ways I could describe this, but the gist of it was that I was choosing in that moment of this experience to acknowledge a full-fledged, full-orbed, as Howard Thurman might talk about it, partnership in oneness with the universe, as opposed to I'm going to do my prayer, my affirmation, my meditation, my visualization, my visioning. I'm going to serve. I'm going to tithe. I'm going to read and study. I'm going to journal. I'm going to give thanks. I'm going to forgive. I'm going to take all of these actions to create something, which are all wonderful. Don't get me wrong. In this particular moment, I felt like I transcended all of that into the spiritual unfoldment. And there was this sense of radiance. Now, this was a moment of my high resolve. And like I said earlier, I've been talking about this all week. I've been talking about it with my practitioner. I've been talking about it with my husband. I've been talking about it with my therapist. I've been journaling about it, because that idea of keeping fresh this moment of my high resolve just feels so good. And so then Rich and I were talking, and we came up with the idea of bringing radiance into this conversation. And I share this with you as kind of a celebration. Yeehaw! Go Dean, go Dean, go universe, as a celebration, and at the same time as an indication of something that's really lovely and delightful that I wanted to share with the folks of New Thought Tuesdays. This idea of taking that next level in our spiritual exploration, moving beyond well, I did all of the spiritual practices, and what have I gotten from it, into the allowing all of the spiritual practices and their intention to radiate through me, as me, by me, with a sense of trust. The how do you recognize radiance comes from that sense, for me, of quiet enthusiasm and joy. Those moments where, for whatever reason, my life seems to just flow. And it creates my awareness of a spiritual presence. This presence is always available to each one of us. It was a matter of really just touching it in my intention, in my love, as opposed to performing for it, like spiritual performance. I've got 4 affirmations. Each one of those affirmations is personal, positive, powerful, present tense. I have great feeling behind them, and I love doing them. And I pray. I do a 5-step prayer treatment multiple times a day, it would appear. I journal, like I told you earlier. I was journaling a lot about this particular experience before I woke up on Friday. I'm reading, I'm studying, I'm searching, I'm talking, I'm sharing with my beloved community. All of that's terrific. And then there's that moment that we let go. And I let God. And I become even more and even more deeply aware of my faith. For those of you who are in New Thought, Ancient Wisdom, and are students of the science of mind, Dr. Holmes tagged his book of faith, of philosophy, of faith, a way of life. I'm finding that it can be very easy on the human plane, as my beloved Dr. Mark used to call it, Humanville, to focus on the psychology. What am I humanly thinking? How am I humanly doing something? But this is really about faith. It transcends The psychology, and I love the psychology, you know that if you know me at all, it transcends the quantum physics and it moves into faith. So for those of us who are exploring, keep before you those moments of your high resolve, those moments of radiance. Find a community where you can share that radiance and grow in that radiance. I encourage to take classes that really are chaired by a mentor who can speak to their personal experience with the principles of the science of mind and how they work. And this is all, I see this all as a churning way to light that radiance of love. That radiance is when we begin to transcend the idea of physical healing, recognizing that in that Christ consciousness, if you've read the stories about Jesus of Nazareth and believe those are historical, that sense of healing can be and is spontaneous when it is truly desired by the person requesting the healing and when someone really knows the truth about this person. That's what your practitioners can do, your spiritual leaders can do for you and with you. So keep before you these mentors and these loved ones who can be of service to you, not lip service, not making it just comfortable for you, but being there to honestly share their sense of radiance, to connect, and even sometimes radiate together with you. This brings a sense of collective elevation. Now, for those of you who are new here, these remarks are just before we go into the inner circle, which we'll be just going into in just a couple of minutes, where members who are members of New Thought Tuesdays come together to explore these ideas personally, confidentially, and deeply. And if you're not part of our New Thought Tuesdays inner circle, God love you, please find a place where you feel safe, where you feel energized, where you can experience a sense of trust. And that's what we offer in the inner circle. You can go to newthoughttuesdays.com to find out more about the inner circle. So please feel free to do that. And if you'd like to know more about it, you can also email me, dean@deanregan.com, DEAN at DEANREGAN.com. Be glad to work it through with you. Radiance is not about pushing, it's about shining. Radiance flows through you, through thought, feeling, and spiritual awareness that are all congruent. They all are congruent. For me, there's a sense of delight. There's a sense of satisfaction and joy that is vibrational. So before we leave, I'm going to just close out with a 5-step spiritual mind treatment for New Thought Tuesdays and everyone listening. That there is one life, one truth, one intelligence, one presence that I call God. Call it what you will. And this idea of God expresses in me, as me, and through me, and all beings everywhere. And so I speak this prayer of gratitude and the highest and best good for all of the New Thought Tuesdays folks, those that watch online, those that participate in the inner circle, Rich, myself, and beyond. We are here and now experiencing and expressing a desire, a divine desire that the cloak be relieved and removed from you so that you can speak and share and experience your own radiance, that ease, that flow, that effortlessness, that opportunity, that Christ consciousness. I'm grateful for this knowing and this prayer. And I release this word into the law, knowing that the law responds mysteriously, magically, miraculously, but it responds as I know that it did in the unfolding of my radiant moment, my awareness this week in the topic of radiance. And I know that this idea finds a home in the heart of all who desire it. And so it is. And together we say, Amen. We will see you later. Happy New Thought Tuesdays.